Right, so we're going to go through a few more questions here. These two questions are both multiple choice, and I'll show you how to approach them. So this first question here from the triangle, now be careful here, that's a theta, and I can't remember what that is, but it's another Greek letter. We use all Greek letters when we're dealing with angles. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, there's all sorts of Greek letters that are used, and they're all used for angles. So this is a theta, and this I'm not sure what it's called. It looks very similar, but just be very careful. Okay, now it says which ratio is equal to P over M. Alright, so here's P, and here's M. Now, we are not involving the hypotenuse at all. Okay, this is the hypotenuse. That's not being used with P and M. So, it is the opposite and the adjacent sides. So, the only trig ratio we know that has those in them is the one that says opposite over adjacent. Okay, so we want that P to be the opposite side and the M to be the adjacent side. So we know that tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. That's what we've learnt. So straight away, the answer is not going to be either of these because they're cos. Right now, we just got to get the angle right here to get the answer. So which angle has this as the opposite side? It's that angle there. So it actually is theta, this one. So the answer will be tan theta because that is the one that gives you P over M for opposite over adjacent. Alright, so our answer is tan theta. That's this one. Alright, looking at the next one. So this one asks for which, so that one's asking about which ratio, this one's asking about which statement is true out of all of these. Okay, so the first one says sine u. Alright, so sine u, let's just do them down the bottom here. Sine u, we'll just write the sine theta first. Sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, so sine u, let's see what that is. Alright, the opposite side to u is this one. That's the opposite side, so we're going to write VW. And the hypotenuse is this one here. And that's UW. So that's what sine u is. Now let's see what cos W is. Cos theta equals A over H. Alright, we're dealing with cos W in this case. Alright, so where's the W? That's here. I'm going to change to my blue pen here. Cos W would be A over H. H is never going to be any different. Okay, so A over H. So we've got VW over UW. So what we want to know is that one there and that one there. Sine U and cos W, are they the same? Yes, they are. They both give you VW over UW. So we've straight away got that they are equal. So sine U does equal cos W, and we've got the answer straight away in the first one, which was lucky, because they might have put that one down further. It's never going to be anything to do with tan and sine or cos, because tan never involves the hypotenuse. It's opposite over adjacent. The sine and the cos always involve the hypotenuse. So it's never going to be something with tan mixing with anything. This, you might think, is a possibility, but if you think about it, tan of U is opposite over adjacent, right? Tan of W, the opposite side's the wrong way around. Okay, so that's not going to be right either. So your right answer did end up being A. Alright, now these questions are really, really badly done in exams. Alright, especially as we go into the next few lessons of our trig. You'll come back to this question later and do it a different way to what I'm about to explain, and you won't understand why. Okay, so what normally happens on these questions is they put their word exact in here. And that stops people doing it a different way other than what I'm about to explain to you. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take what they give you up here. I'll just write it down again. We've got tan A equals 5 over 12. Now we're going to draw a triangle showing us all of that. Now we know that tan is opposite over adjacent. So we're going to draw a right angle triangle where these things are happening. So here we go, right angle triangle. Our angle, remember anything written after trig ratios is an angle. So we have an angle that's called A. You can put the A outside or you can put it in there if you like, it doesn't matter. Alright, so tan A, opposite side has to be 5, the adjacent side has to be 12. So that's all in. Now we can't go and get these other things unless we know this side. So that's where you use Pythagoras' theorem. So I'm just going to write this down as H because we've been using capital H for hypotenuse. And we're going to use Pythagoras' theorem. And we're subbing in everything we know. And then you're going to work that out on your calculator. And that will end up giving you 169. And then we're going to get A by itself by getting rid of that square. So let's come over and do the opposite, which is square root. And you'll get an answer of 13. So we've found that side now, so we're going to come back up here and write that side in. Now we can easily answer what they want, right? So we've got the first thing they want is sine A. We'll start with our formula. Always want you starting with your formula. Now we're finding sine A. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so it's 5 over 13. That's that one finished. The other one we want is cos. And it's cos A. So let's have a look. Cos A is adjacent over hypotenuse, 12 over 13. So it easily came out. All right, now you might say, well, I could have done it a different way and still got it right. Maybe, maybe not. But some of these answers, they have to be exact. Even with this one that hasn't really actually asked that, they have to be exact. So in some cases, you might not get a nice answer of 13. You might get an answer of something like root 17. Okay, so what would you have done if you had root 17 sitting there? That means that this is not going to be right because the numbers wouldn't work. But let's just say it's like that. Then when you went to write down sine A, you would have gone opposite over hypotenuse. Now, you're not going to get that exact answer with that surd in it, doing it any other way. Okay, so to get those surds in those answers, you have to do it the way I've just told you to do it. All right, so remember what we do. If you've been given a trig ratio and you're asked to find other trig ratios, you draw a triangle, you find the missing side, and then you find the ratios you need. So once you get started, it's easy, but if you don't know how to start it, it's not easy. So you do need to practice these questions, and then one of the worst questions done on the HSC. All right, so good luck with your homework, but make sure you do it.